What's up, Certified G's? This is Chris Guerrero with Certified G Motivation, back for another weekly motivational video to help inspire you to chase the ever-elusive greatness in your life. Now this week, guys, I have a little bit of a question for you. Are you looking at this pandemic as a positive or a negative? And that's tough because I know with this pandemic, it's been very scary, it's been very fearful. But I want to challenge you a little bit this week to try and find as many positives as you can coming out of this pandemic. Now, I don't know about you guys, but about a month ago, I took a lot of things for my life for granted. I took a lot of things in my everyday and I just was in a routine, and it was like I was stuck in this blur, and I really took every day and I didn't treat it as each individual gift that it should have been treated as. So this week, guys, I want to share with you a couple of positive lessons that I've learned from my pandemic experience. And I know a lot of you guys out there have learned some things too. I mean, you probably learned a lot being stuck with your kids for the past couple weeks, right? And I've learned a lot of things trying to teach through a computer that I didn't know before. I thought I was tech savvy, but boy, I have been proven wrong. So the first lesson that I learned from the pandemic that's possibly going to change the person that I was coming out of this thing is I learned to really value the essentials in my life. Essential. Now that's a word that's been on the media going crazy. This is essential. That is essential. You are essential. Your job is not essential, right? But it really made me reflect on what are the essential things in my life. And some of the things that I found out were I had a lot of hobbies or things that I did throughout my routine that really weren't essential to my success. So maybe I can not watch as much TV as I was beforehand. Or maybe I can sit back and I could be like, you know what, I'd rather spend this time reading than scrolling through social media. I'd rather read and educate myself than read other people's problems per se, right? The second thing about the essentials that I really want to talk about, it really made me value the people who are essential to my life. Right? This whole thing has taught me something very serious. I took for granted sometimes that I could go down the street and visit my family. I took for granted sometimes that, my wife and I could go out for dinner at any time. This thing has shown us that it's not always possible for that to happen. So maybe I'm gonna start to look at life a little differently when I get out of this and appreciate the things that I was taking for granted before. So the first lesson that positively changed me is I'm gonna start to value the things that are essential to my life and remove things from my life that are not essential. The second positive way that I'm gonna change is I'm gonna start to love on my neighbor a little bit more than I was before. See, we all get caught in this grind. We all get caught in this routine, and sometimes we forget that the people surrounding us, the people around us, they're going through the struggle with us too. See, sometimes we get so frustrated. Maybe we're, at a stoplight, and maybe, somebody cuts us off, or we give them the bird, or we curse at them. Look, guys, this was a reminder that we are all going through life together. Everything about this pandemic said we were struggling together, and it was so beautiful to see neighbors and community people and family members and friends step up in ways that they never stepped up before. Maybe they went shopping for their senior citizen neighbor. Maybe they helped the kids get out of the house a little bit more. They came up with a different activity. Maybe we saw community in a totally different light. I know I'll never look at a grocery store worker the same again. I will never look at them as someone who just bags my groceries because they went out there and they risked a lot. I'll never look at a doctor the same again as they went into work knowing what the repercussions were every time that they crossed the threshold of a hospital. So I want you guys to learn and see that maybe we should start looking at our neighbors and the people around us differently, because we all go through struggles, okay? The third change and the third positive way that this pandemic has changed me is I learned not to take a day for granted. See, about a month ago, I was making big plans. I had a trip to Tampa for WrestleMania. I had plans to go to Disney in the summer. I had all these plans for the future that sometimes I was taking the average mundane Monday or Tuesday for granted. Well, this pandemic has taught me that not every day is promised. Not every day and every plan is going to be promised, so you might want to enjoy the present. See, that's the thing. Sometimes we weren't taking the gift of the day and using it for what it was worth. So this pandemic has taught me that I want to sit back every day and in some small way make a positive impact in my life. And if I can, make a positive impact in those around me. So really, those are the 3 ways that this pandemic has changed me for the better. I'm gonna start valuing the things that are essential to my life and remove things that I shouldn't be sweating that are non-essential. I'm gonna look at my neighbors a little bit differently because I saw the beauty in how everybody stepped up to the plate to help thy neighbor. And the 3rd thing, like I said, is I will never take another day for granted right now, because it's so important to understand that every 24 hours you have an opportunity to make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of the people you love. So thank you guys this week for watching the video. I'll be back again next week with another weekly motivational video. Please stop by cgmotivation.com. We made a couple upgrades while we've been stuck in quarantine. I'd encourage you guys to check it out and then follow us on social media through Twitter or an Instagram, or subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and I challenge you this week, find positive ways that this pandemic is going to change you. Much love, keep chasing greatness. Let's close out the video right, guys. Remember, we are never satisfied, but we're always grateful, and that's what makes us certified for greatness. Much love, guys.